What are the best tips or buying advice for choosing the right booties to purchase for your next scuba adventure? Let's dive in and find out. Welcome back to Tampa Bay Diving. My name is Blake and I'm a professional recreational scuba diving instructor and digital content creator. I'd like to welcome you to the channel. If you're new, consider diving down, hitting that subscribe button and the dive bell because I make these videos with the sole purpose of helping you improve your dives. Ladies and gents, welcome to the next video in our gear series where we take a look at different pieces of equipment that you'll need or want for scuba diving, and I offer my best advice for the best options. Today's video is about a piece of gear that is vital for comfortability and safety, and that is booties. Now, the first and most important aspect of a bootie that you need to consider when making a purchase is fit. Now, booties are sold in shoe sizes similar to what you would get if you went into an Academy Sports, a Foot Locker, etc. Well, at least here in the US. European divers, comment down below and let everyone know if they are similar to the shoe sizes you would get in your local stores. Here in the United States, women's sizes are different from typical standards, and most booties are modeled after men's sizes. Don't ask me why. I am not a woman. I can't even begin to understand their sizes. Whenever a woman in my life wants clothing as a gift, they automatically get a gift card, whether it's scuba related or not. It's just easier that way, and it avoids a potentially dangerous conflict. Now, a very important note is to try on the booties before you buy them. Size consistency across different manufacturers doesn't really line up all the time. So you could be a size 12 in one brand and a size 10 in another. The main reason why you want to try them on for a proper fit is because you want a snug fit. Not too tight where you struggle to get it on and they're pressing up against your toes. That's going to make you extremely uncomfortable in the water. If they're too loose, then they will cause blisters. Now, don't just try them on your feet, but you also need to make sure they fit your fin inside your fin pockets. So if you're already a certified diver, then take your fin into the shop with you, or if you're buying a new set of fins or booties, you need to make sure that they're compatible. If your booties don't go all the way in your fin pocket, then your fins will be loose and kind of rattle around, making your propulsion inefficient, which will in turn have an effect on your workload and breathing rates. If your booties go into your fin pocket, but they are extremely tight, then that can cause a very uncomfortable foot cramps, which will most likely cause you to end your dive early because as you're going through your kick cycles, it's just going to be a constant nuisance. Now, the next consideration that you need to keep in mind is ankle height. Do you want a low, medium, or high cut style of bootie? Now, these low cut style of booties I generally wear here in the summer if I'm doing a short shore dive and if I'm just wearing board shorts and a rash guard. As long as it's just kind of on a shallow reef and kind of just fun diving, this is what I generally choose. If I'm doing a wreck dive or really any type of dive where I'm going to be penetrating something or doing a lot of work, I'm going to be in a wetsuit and choose my high ankle booties. For these dives, I like to be covered just as for an added protection against, say, getting scrapes, and as well for insulation. If you're going to go with these type of booties, make sure you get the ones with the side zippers because they do make getting in and out of them a heck of a lot easier. Another thing that you want to consider when choosing these type of booties is, where is your fin strap going to go? There are all different sizes and shapes, so this is definitely something to keep in mind. Because if you choose to wear a low cut bootie with a fin where the strap is going to be sitting on your skin, then that is also more likely going to cause some painful blisters on the back of your heel. Now, I like having the spring straps on my fins. The ones that I have are a little bulkier than others, so the one thing that I've got that keeps me from getting blisters when wearing the low cut booties is these Cressy fin socks. I do a lot of hiking, camping, and hunting. So one thing that has always been instilled in me is comfortable footwear and taking care of your feet. And that is exactly why I wanted to make this video, because I believe that it is valuable advice in any sport. The next thing for you to consider is thickness. Now, when deciding on the thickness of your booties you're going to purchase, there really are two factors that come into play. The first one is warmth. what type of water and environment are you going to be diving in? If it's in the summer, then a 3 mil or less should be sufficient. If it's in the colder months, then you might want to consider a 5 or 7 mil. Neither I nor anyone else can tell you which one will be the right option for you, and that is because everyone's cold tolerance is different. You know your body best, so use your best judgment to make that determination. But do keep in mind the times of your dives. For example, you may be someone who stays relatively warm for a 20 or 30 minute dive, but that might change while diving for an extended amount of time. Now, the second thing you may want to consider is what type of effect are the booties going to have on my buoyancy? Because there are people who have heavier feet and those that have lighter ones. Let me explain what I mean. I myself tend to be rather foot heavy. Even when wearing the lighter booties with a light recreational fin, my feet tend to sink first, and I kind of have to make adjustments to that by wearing thicker booties for the added buoyancy, which makes it easier for me to stay in a trim position. If you're on the other side of the spectrum and have lighter feet, then you'll want to choose the thinnest booties possible that will still enable you to stay adequately warm. Now, the next consideration in your booty buying experience is what type of sole are you going to need on the bottom of your feet? And this depends entirely on what type of environment you're going to be walking on prior to and after your dive. Before you get in the water, you're inevitably going to be walking around on some type of surface. If you're walking on soft sand or a boat deck, then these low-cut booties are going to be just fine. They're comfortable on those surfaces, and as you can see, the soles are slip resistant. If you're going to be going in and have to walk across rocks or volcanic ash like in some of the Pacific Islands, then you're going to be walking around in something a little more sturdy. These Scuba Pros are sufficient in my opinion, but for the ultimate and best protection, you'd want a pair like I have here. These are my Ultima's Maritime mid-cut booties. As you can see, they look similar to a pair of Converse, but they are thicker. They are thick both on the top and the bottom of the shoe. They offer more stabilization for ankles, and as you can see, the soles are thick and hard, which in turn offer great protection. Because if you're walking across rocks or hardened volcanic ash in light booties, then not only is your dive going to be canceled, but you're going to end up in the emergency room getting your feet stitched back together. And take it from experience, prevention is better than cure. I got these from originalfootwear.com, and there are multiple versions in low, mid, and high cut, and they're offered in different colors from desert tan, gray, black, and camo. And I'll put a link down in the description if you'd like to check them out. Now, booties, like most of your dive gear, are susceptible to normal wear and tear. The more you use them, the more the neoprene gets compressed and loses its functionality over time. The seams around the booties will begin to come apart and the zippers will eventually break. On some other channels, you might see neoprene or wetsuit repair. I've done it in a pinch, but for these, they are generally inexpensive and on the low end ranging from $30 to $60. In my humble opinion, it's not worth trying to spend the time, energy, and money to repair booties. Just replace them with a newer pair the same way we do with our regular shoes. The Ultimas do cost more, but they have lasted me a lot longer. If you're new to diving, then I hope that this video has been informative and helped to give you some insight onto making a good purchase. And I'll put links to all the products down in the descriptions. Some of them are affiliate links, which will earn me a small commission at no extra cost for you. And definitely check out some of our other videos on gear selection, and consider diving down, hitting that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that dive bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, because we've got more great content coming to help you with gear purchases, dive locations, and so much more. And I'll be back next week with another video, but until then, plan your dive and dive your plan.